Nothing prepares you for the moment you realize everyone was invited except for you. But the scary part isn't just the exclusion itself. Your brain doesn't just remember moments like this, it can actually start changing your personality after. Maybe someone mentions it accidentally, maybe you see photos later, maybe everyone suddenly has inside jokes that you just don't get. And in about 3 seconds, your entire body changes. Your stomach drops, your chest feels tight, your brain instantly starts searching for answers. Wait, was it intentional? Did they do that on purpose? Do they not like me anymore? Was I too annoying? Did I do something wrong? And this is the part most people don't realize. For most of human history, being separated from the group could actually reduce your chances of survival. Okay, humans survived in tribes and communities. So over time, the brain developed this wiring that made belonging feel safe and exclusion feel threatening. And that wiring is still in your brain today, which means when you feel excluded, your alarm system activates fast. But here's where it gets interesting. Your brain doesn't just react to the exclusion, it actually starts predicting it, right? And once your brain starts expecting rejection, you begin acting differently before anything even happens. That's why after being left out, you might suddenly notice that you become quieter, more careful, or less expressive, right? You might notice that you're more aware of everything that you're saying, you're critiquing yourself, you start monitoring yourself. Am I too much? Did I say too much? Should I say less? Should I act more chill? Maybe I care too much. And without even noticing it, your brain slowly starts teaching you being fully yourself is risky. But here's the challenge I want to give you. Be very careful about the story your brain creates when you are hurt. Because humans hate uncertainty. So when you don't fully understand why something happens socially, your brain just fills in the blanks. And usually what happens is it fills them in with the most painful explanation possible. Not the most accurate one. Because the truth is you generally do not know what happened in that group conversation. Maybe somebody just forgot. Maybe plans changed quickly, right? Maybe one person didn't want you there and maybe the other people just felt uncomfortable about it but stayed quiet because they were scared of becoming the next person, excluded themselves. That happens way more than people realize. Humans are deeply influenced by groups, and sometimes people stay silent not because they fully agree, but because they're trying to protect their own place socially. That doesn't make it okay, but it does change something important. Other people's behavior is not a reflection of your worth. And honestly, it's a massive mindset shift because your brain can very quickly turn I wasn't invited into there's something wrong with me. And those are completely different things. One is a situation and the other becomes an identity. And if you're not careful, your brain starts building a personality around avoiding rejection. You stop saying certain things, right? You stop expressing certain parts of yourself because you're scared. You stop taking social risks. You become more focused on fitting in than actually feeling connected, right? But here's the weird part. People usually feel safest around people who aren't constantly performing. Real friendships normally feel different in your nervous system. You can actually exhale around these people. Have you noticed that? You don't leave every interaction replaying what you said afterwards. You don't feel like one wrong move could remove you from the group. And this is important too. You do not become emotionally safer by becoming the person who excludes others first, right? Some people have a tendency to do that because sometimes after being hurt, the brain tries to flip the situation. It thinks, oh, wait, if I become colder, I become the cold one that excludes people, less caring, more socially powerful, then nobody can hurt me again. Wrong. Being feared is not the same as belonging, and making other people anxious doesn't create connection either. Not real connection anyway. It just spreads the insecurity around. Real belonging feels different. It feels emotionally safe. You know who those people are. And obviously, nobody gets invited to everything. That's normal. But just remember this, healthy friendships don't repeatedly make you feel invisible. There's a difference. And if your social world feels massive right now, that's normal too. Humans naturally build identity through belonging and connection. But your current friendships are not the final definition of your worth. Life gets bigger. You meet different people, okay? Different environments, different energies. And most of the time, the strongest friendships happen when you stop trying so hard to fit into places that make you want to shrink yourself. So if this has happened to you recently, don't ignore the hurt, okay? It hurts because humans are wired for connection. It's normal. But also don't let one painful moment convince you to become smaller, colder, or less yourself, because your brain is trying to protect you. But sometimes protection can accidentally become self-abandonment, especially in the world we live in today. And that's the part most people never realize.